for us, Labour's education spokesman. We're going to look in a little more detail at these changes. Chante Joseph is with me, sat at GCSEs this summer as a member of the Youth Parliament. Good to have you with us, Chante. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
And Katie Ivans is Vice Chair of the Campaign for Real Education. Katie, good evening to you.
Good evening. Thanks
very much for joining us. Chante, let's start with you. GCSEs, what's your experience been?
Well, I've just finished my GCSEs and they were a lot of stress. They were literally a lot of stress, the way they were laid out. And I just think that the reforms that they want to put through now are terrible. They're even worse.
Why?
Because they marginalise some young people. I had an example that if manufacturers only made scissors for people who were left-handed, why should right-handed people have to suffer by only using left-handed scissors? Do you know what I mean? Some people are kinesthetic learners, some people are visual learners. Like, I like the idea of coursework, I like the idea of modular exams. It makes more sense than doing them all at the end, because you only have one shot, and that is a lot of stress, and a lot of young people cannot cope with stress when it comes to exams, and we shouldn't be forced to sit 3-hour exams at the end of 2 years to get our results.
Well, hang on a second, Chante. Katie, let's turn to you, because this is one of the big themes, isn't it? It's all to do with how you assess someone's performance. And we've had the debate many times over the years about modular and continuous assessment and all the rest of it. What does today's plan say to you? Does it make sense?
Well, there are some people who say it's extremely stressful to have to keep on doing modules and keep on doing coursework. Some people might say, well, it's much, much better to study and study and study and study and build up your knowledge, build up your understanding, build up your expertise, and then sit an exam. So I think there would be different points of view on that. And I think that employers, and I think many of us who need to assess the value of results, actually accord more respect to the results of exams than to systems where there is constant retaking, possibly intervention of parents and others in coursework and that sort of thing. And really we need an equal opportunity for children to demonstrate what they can do. And the present system, I think, probably does favour children who've got parents who can help them quite a lot. Once everybody once the responsibility for the whole exam process is basically between teachers and children, which I think is what you get when you have a proper exam system, then really children all get an equal opportunity to demonstrate how well they can do.
Let's talk a little bit about the plan announced today, the EBack, which is meant to be one exam which suits all ranges of ability. Does that convince you? I'll come to you in a second, Katie, but let's start with you, Chante, on that. What do you make of this plan for the EBack, and does that plan for you make sense?
No, I don't agree with it at all. I don't think it's a fair system, because having coursework, like for myself, I'm not the best at writing when it comes to English, but I'm really good at public speaking and I'm really good at oral exams. So that means that when I did my oral exams, I did really well, which meant I could get my English GCSE, which means I could do my A-levels, which means I can do IB. So by having it all at the end, if I'm not too good at writing and I do the writing exam and I do badly, then I can't go to college because I won't pass my English GCSE. Having it all at the end is terrible, and it's a lot of stress, and I don't think it's the best way forward.
Katie, on the ability issue, because this is something that lots of people have been debating, is it credible to have one exam which genuinely does test people of different ability?
Yes, yes it does. Of course it does, but some people will do better than others. And that's something we all have to face, it's something we have to live with, and it's the way life is and the way life goes. And I'm a little bit alarmed about this young lady who's no good at writing, but she thinks she can get, you know, an English result. You know, we need people to be able to write English as well as to be able to speak English, and it's very important to be examined in that and to be tested in that. I'm sorry, you know, and maybe this young lady doesn't like me to say this, but, you know, it's a fact.
Chante?
No, it's not that I'm not good at writing. It's that writing is not the best aspect of my English. I'm really good at talking. Like, my writing may be a B, but my speaking is an A star, so it kind of balances it out. If we have exams all at the end that are writing, then it only really cuts it off to the people who are good at writing. Some people, like, I learned my biology exam by doing a rap about photosynthesis. That is how I learned it. Some people are better at learning through different things. It's not about doing an exam at the end, because that doesn't suit anyone, and that is not fair at all, and nobody should have to go through that if they don't want to do it. Modular exams means that you can learn smaller sections of the information and you can revise it properly. Linear exams means that you do all of it. You may learn 2 years of work in an exam that only picks up about 2 topics out of 20. That makes no sense at all.
Before I come to Katie on that, do you accept one point, though, Chante, which is that there are examples of kids who come from homes where parents want to give them a bit of a help and they get a big advantage because they help them with their coursework and their module work? That's not fair, is it?
It's not fair at all, but I think that when you come into the exam, then you will see how able a student is. And because of modular exams, we can see that the student gets a lot of help at home, but their exams aren't bad. So then the teacher can look at that modular exam and help that student. But if a student is getting help at home and then when it comes to the exam they do bad, then it's too late. So we need to look at it when it's early and help the children from earlier.
Katie, what will be the test? Sorry, Katie, what will be the test of whether this new EBack works for you?
What will be the test?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to see lots and lots of children taking these exams. I would expect to see some fairly clear sort of differentiation in results, so we don't get huge numbers of children all getting A's and B's, and universities not being able to distinguish between one child and one result and another. It does actually have to. Well, it will actually mean that we will have to accept that some children will demonstrably do better, and others will demonstrably do worse than others. But that's the way it's got to be. You can't pretend everybody's the same and everybody's got to get the same result. You do actually have to be tested on on your knowledge and on your abilities. And I would actually say that being able to write what you think and what you know is actually a very important ability and should be tested in an exam.
Chante, final word.
I'm saying that I think the idea, what you're saying is true, but we need to help people from earlier. We can't wait to the end of 3 years of studying to see somebody does not get the work. We need to intervene earlier. That's why we need modular exams, and we cannot leave it till the end because it's too late to help young people. We don't want young people getting less than C's in their exams and not making it to college and not making it to work. This is just an endless cycle of unemployment. We need to help our young people.
Chante and Katie, I'm really sorry we're out of time, but it's good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us, Katie Ivans and Chante Joseph. Thanks a lot.